It's now my great pleasure to invite Her Excellency, the Honourable Francis Adamson AC, Governor of South Australia, to the stage to address the guests as well.
Uncle Rod Alia, Gana Bogana Alia, Gana Miana Alia, Yaichi Miana Alia, Kumatana Yartananku. Yatuna Tampandi, Gana Miana, Yaichi Yatamatina, Pukinananku, Yalaka, Takaricha. Dear Uncle Rod, Ghana elders, Aboriginal people from other lands and regions, I acknowledge and pay my respects to you all. And I also acknowledge that the land we're meeting on today is Ghana land as it has been in the past, today, and into the future. Now, Cam, that was a remarkably comprehensive acknowledgement. And I think because you've done it so comprehensively, I will simply go a couple of steps down the order of precedence, referring though to two people here today who've played particular roles in our public life, and the Honourable Reverend Dr. Lynn Arnold, 40th Premier of South Australia and today's Speaker, and let me also acknowledge the Honourable Vicky Chapman, former Deputy Premier. Rotarian, so wonderful that you've come from all over the place, and as all of those cities and towns and states were mentioned, I had a visual image of Rotarians meeting, doing the sorts of wonderful things that we're celebrating today. It really is an honour to be with you at the Founders' Day lunch to celebrate 100 years to the day of the first meeting of the Rotary Club of Adelaide. I'm pleased to do so both as the patron of Rotary Adelaide and the Rotary South Australian Centenary. A centenary is always a significant milestone, inviting both celebration and a charting of the future. It's a time for reflection too. A century ago, we were a different society. World War I had taken many young lives, and those who returned after serving their country were indelibly changed. Then the Roaring Twenties gave us prosperity, new ideas, new roles, and new hope. It was a time of optimism before the challenges of the Depression and another world war took hold. Against this backdrop, the founders of Rotary Adelaide, some of Adelaide's leading citizens, recognised that as a group and by combining their skills, expertise and commitment, they could contribute to building a better community. Since then, the values on which Rotary is based, service, integrity, diversity, fellowship and leadership, have endured. We all know we can get more things done by working together, by including others, by respecting difference, by listening. And Rotary gets things done because people are at its heart. I congratulate the Rotary Club of Adelaide on its proud history of working in communities locally and internationally, and leading the sponsoring of more than 100 Rotary, Rotaract and Interact clubs. Today is an opportune time briefly to mention some of the achievements of Rotary Adelaide over the last 100 years. The club championed the introduction of Medic Alert in South Australia. COTA, of which I'm now patron, grew out of Rotary Adelaide, of a Rotary Adelaide initiative. The club helped make the first Festival of Arts in 1960, a successful event by billeting visitors and artists. It was involved in the establishment of the Crippled Children's Association, now known as Novita, which I also have the honour to be patron of. These are now all part of our community fabric. I also commend Rotary Adelaide for its Aboriginal Chronic Disease Prevention Project, its major centenary legacy project, in conjunction with the School of Public Health at the University of Adelaide, SAMRI, Australian Rotary Health and Rotary District 9510. This project will enable 2 Aboriginal health scholars to complete PhD awards to research a culturally appropriate model to prevent and manage chronic disease. It's an important step to close the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous health outcomes. In another project, together with other Rotary clubs, the Peace Polls will remind us that peace begins in our heart, our home, and in our community. And Cam and Robin and I have just been photographed in front of the very first peace poll. We talk about planting peace polls, I think, don't we? Anyway, the very first one here at Adelaide Oval. There are many more milestones and achievements which I'm sure will be outlined today and throughout the year. Of course, as we look to the future, one of the key challenges is ensuring that today's members are followed by tomorrow's members. Undoubtedly, many service organisations face the challenge of renewal and growth. The Rotary Club of Adelaide, South Australia's largest and oldest Rotary club, is known for moving with the times. It's always looking to reflect the diversity and aspirations of our community, because that brings new ideas and longevity in achieving your important goals. When I was invited to speak today, it was suggested that on this important milestone, I could encourage us all to look towards the future with hope and courage. I believe we can do just that. There are undoubted challenges before us locally, nationally, and internationally. But within all of us is the strength and determination to be change makers. And Rotary members are change makers because you care and because you can. Today at this lunch, we celebrate your history. I know from here, Rotary Adelaide and Rotary clubs around the world will continue to make history of a kind which will be celebrated by future Rotarians and the communities to which you contribute so much. Thank you.
And as we cut the cake, we're celebrating our past 100 years, but looking very much forward to the future with confidence for a bright future. So I now invite Your Excellency to do the deed and cut the cake.
Thank you, Cam. I think that was a pretty good result, actually, because I did say to the Governor, if something happens to the cake, I'm not taking responsibility, so that probably left it with her, and she wasn't prepared to either. Very good sport. Anyway, the cake is cut.